Right, in this lesson we're going to be speaking about mechanisms and how to create them. So this is a term that gets thrown around a lot and a lot of people just get it completely wrong. A mechanism isn't just a fancy word for a product or a system. There's a lot more thought that goes into the creating of a mechanism, and they're super important, especially when it comes to writing VSLs, because you'll be using two parts of this mechanism in a lot of your ad copy. So let's get into what it actually is. So the unique mechanism is the unique process or method through which your product delivers its promised result. It's the how behind your claim, the vehicle that takes someone from their current state to their desired outcome. We want to think of this as like the secret sauce that makes your product differently or seemingly better than anything else that's on the market. Now, the reason why this matters is because, well, think about it like this. All things in e-commerce make very similar claims. Weight loss supplements, you lose weight. Skincare products, you have better skin. Sleep aids, you get better sleep. The mechanism is what differentiates you inside the market, and it's what makes your product, your system, your approach, your offer, it makes it feel new, credible, and worth trying, even if someone's tried multiple other products, which most of them probably have, and that's why it's so important. So Stefan Georgi popularized this term when he created RMBC, which is like a method of writing copy, and he basically created a unique mechanism, and it's split into two parts. You've got the unique mechanism of the problem, UMP, and this is the specific root cause of the problem that your product solves, and it's the underlying reason why the problem exists. So examples: weight gain isn't from eating too much, it's from insulin resistance blocking fat burning. Wrinkles aren't from aging, it's from collagen breakdown in the dermis layer. Poor sleep isn't from stress, it's from cortisol spikes disrupting your circadian rhythm. So hopefully you start your understanding it's like the layer deeper than the problem. You're gaining weight, there's a layer deeper than that, it's actually your insulin resistance. Now the UMP is going to reframe the problem, and it shifts blame away from the customer, you're lazy, weak-willed, and it turns it into a mechanism that they can't control without the right system or solution. It sounds black hat and it sounds like scammy, but it's not, right? But this is what all great copywriting is. And this is what makes someone think, wait, that's why nothing else has worked. That's with your UMP, you need to get them thinking, that's why, that's the real problem. I've not thought about it that way. So the UMP always comes first. You need to establish the problem mechanism before introducing the solution. Your UMS, so this is unique mechanism of the solution. So this is the specific way that your product addresses that unique problem. So it's not just another diet, it's a natural insulin optimizer that reactivates your body's fat burning mode. It's not just another anti-aging cream, but it's a collagen rebuilding peptide complex that repairs damage at the dermis level. It's not just a sleep aid, but a cortisol regulating formula that naturally resets your sleep-wake cycle. Now, your UMS is your proprietary answer to the UMP, and it should directly address that root cause. They need to be correlated. So the way that this works is you introduce the problem, that's the thing that they already know, then you reveal the UMP, so it's actually the hidden problem, the hidden root cause. You agitate it, so why the typical solutions that they've tried before didn't address this root cause or this unique mechanism of the problem. Then you present your UMS, which is your unique solution to the unique problem. So here's a little example. If you're struggling to lose weight no matter what you try, the real issue isn't calories or willpower, it's insulin resistance blocking your fat cells. That should be blocking. That's why diets and exercise alone can't keep failing. Our formula targets insulin sensitivity directly, unlocking fat burning at the cellular level. Now, how to identify strong mechanisms, finding your UMP, right? What do people misunderstand about this problem? What's the scientific, biological, or psychological root cause? What mechanism keeps the problem persistent despite their efforts? And what have competitors ignored or misidentified? Your UMS, which is for your product, your unique mechanism of the solution. How does your product specifically address this root cause, this problem? What's proprietary about your approach to solving that mechanism or that root cause or that problem? And what makes our solution uniquely suited to fix the UMP? Both mechanisms should be believable, backed by logic, science, or proof, different enough to feel new, simple enough to explain quickly, and interesting enough to make someone curious. This one's really important. We need to make someone think, I've never really thought about it that way. Unique mechanisms in your copy. So the UMP and the UMS framework, it becomes basically the backbone of your entire sales argument. So you use it in all parts of the copy, especially your VSLs. Now, here's how it could be used in a hook. The hidden hormone imbalance that's sabotaging your weight loss and the 60-second fix. So in body copy, so then this is where you would go a lot deeper and you would actually create the actual copy for it. But we need to explain that root cause in detail and educate them on why this problem exists. then build credibility by explaining typical solutions that fail to address this. Then we want to introduce our UMS. And we also want to talk about this in our case studies and in our proof and our testimonials. Now, a common mistake, this is what everyone does, they jump straight to the solution without establishing the problem mechanism first. So you'll see this when people mistake what a mechanism is. Like there's this copywriter guy on YouTube, I can't remember his name, but he was talking about like how mechanisms are like the backbone of your copy, and he was like, yeah, you basically just put a name on it, and it's like, no, that's not how a mechanism works.
Right.
A mechanism isn't just like, for example, this course that you've bought, like I'm not even sure if I'll use like a mechanism in this. It's not needed, right? But like a really good example of a bad mechanism is Brez Scales. So he's got an info product that teaches people media buying, basically, right? And it's called freelance brand scaling, and he calls that a mechanism. And loads of people say that's his mechanism. That's not a mechanism. That's just a fancy name for an offer. This is a mechanism, and it goes a lot deeper, and it goes into like your psychological triggers, such as why everything they've tried before doesn't work, and why your solution is going to work. So it's a good few layers deeper. So that is your mechanisms. Now, what I'm going to do is we are going to jump into how to create them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video. We're going to do that in a new video.